Well, we have lost count of how many heat waves we've had so far this summer.
Of course, actually, Katie, right now we're in the middle of a cool wave.
That's wild, because here's the deal. Where I'm from, 84 degrees, that's not cold.
It's not cold, no.
But we will take a break from feeling sorry for ourselves over the summer heat. Instead, let's be thankful, okay, that we are not living here on Delmarva during the winter of 1912.
1912. I wasn't living here. Well, 1912. Anyway, for today's Throwback Thursday, we would like to introduce to you again Secrets of the Eastern Shore author, Mr. Jim Duffy, with the story of a winter in the Chesapeake Bay and a nearby island. It was a tough winter that year.
That year came on with a frozen vengeance.
Oh my.
Yikes.
Week after week, temperature never gets above freezing, right?
Okay.
Ice nearly went from one shore of the Chesapeake Bay to the other shore of the Chesapeake Bay, basically unbroken.
In the Chesapeake?
So this causes problems, right?
Okay.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
the steamboats all have to shut down, the watermen all have to stop working. There's, you know, food issues and things like that. Thankfully, it's 1912, so there's railroads and there's other ways to get things, unless you're living out on one of the islands. Where there's nothing, no telegraph, no telephone, no railroad.
And ice.
And ice, no boats.
No boats.
So 1 week goes by, 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, 4 weeks go by. Nobody's been in touch with people on the island.
Which island?
Yeah, what-
This is Holland Island, really
Holland
any
Island.
island, but this is Holland Island, which is kind of near Deal Island in Somerset County,
okay,
right? Kind
right.
of near Deal Island. And in fact, people on Deal Island, one night, heard all of this gunfire off in the distance coming from Holland Island. It would be bam, 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 and then silence, and then bam, 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 and it went on like almost all night long. And they decided, and they know their neighbors, right? They decided that this was a cry for help, that they were out of food, they were out of fuel, they couldn't build fires, they were freezing to death. And
right,
they
yeah.
started raising the alarm with everybody, local and state officials, that, oh my God, these people on Holland Island are in trouble and they need help, right?
So then what happened?
The newspapers went nuts. Oh my God, top right, the main space of the front page headline for day after day was, nobody knows what's going on in Holland Island. 300 people are probably starving to death. It went on and on and on. There was one image in the Baltimore Sun about how the survivors there are probably just gathered in the chapel on their knees, praying for assistance to come. And the governor did try to send assistance.
I was going to say, did anybody try to
So
get
the governor was an Eastern Shoreman then. Emerson Harrington was his name. And he sent one boat that got stuck in the ice. He sent another boat that got stuck in the ice. He sent a third boat, a much bigger Coast Guard cutter called the Apache.
Okay.
And it took 24 hours, but it finally got to Holland Island. And the captain of the boat put this guy, Lieutenant Boddicker, on a little rowboat dinghy thing and sent him in with a dozen men to find out if there was anybody left on Holland Island.
And?
He did find somebody. There was a guy standing there and he said, how's everything? And the guy said, everything's fine. Why?
No.
And they kept going towards the island and they found all of the Holland Islanders. They were ice skating. How? And the ice skaters invited the rescue people to come out on ice skate with them. And they promised they'd serve them a big dinner afterwards because God knows they had lots of food left on the island.
Really?
That is
They
insane.
asked the islanders what they wanted because they had this giant boat full of like medical supplies and foodstuffs and everything else that starving people might need, doctors and everything
Right,
else.
yeah.
They asked them what they might need. I believe they asked for some lubricating oil and a little baking soda. That was all they wanted.
That was it.
There was,
So
yeah.
everybody panicked.
There was one guy in all these, like literally scores of newspaper articles I read, there was one guy who actually talked sense. He's like, you know, these watermen are pretty resourceful people. And I think if that island was really in trouble, they'd have figured out a way to get word to us by now. And that was the only one. Everybody else was like, oh my God, I'm so sure they're dying. I'm so sure they're
Okay,
dying.
wait, so you had the Apache
crazy.
there. What happened to the Apache?
Oh, so they sent the Apache down to Norfolk
Right.
to go to the naval station
Yeah.
there. It got stuck in the ice. Everybody had to climb off the Apache near Crisfield and walk across the ice into town.
You can't make this stuff up, can you?
No
way.
God bless the stories of Holland Island.
They're ice skating.
They're ice skating,
I can't
awesome.
believe that.
welcoming their rescue workers.
Wow.
Absolutely awesome. Listen, author of The Secrets of the Eastern Shore, Jim Duffy, I love it when it's Thursday and you come in to see us with your incredible stories.
Always fun.
Thank you so much.
And
We'll talk to you again.
Of course, now we know that if we ever have a brutal storm, we're
Right.
just going to ice skate.
Yes, absolutely.
Here we go.
Winner.